Good morning, everyone, and a happy Sunday. How you all doing? Hope you're having a good Sunday so far. Let's see. We have some tea in here. Hello, Cat Person. How you doing, buddy? Lukewarm already. Tepid tea. Okay, and I think we are good. Let me see what the video output is. That is correct. Easy like a Sunday morning. How you been? I haven't seen you stream for a while. How's things going? Still waiting for that fancy stream. I'm good. Busy morning, but second day. Keeping up with the streaming. Trying to at least. What should we do today then? I just sat down and I'm like, okay, let's start streaming, and then like all the energy just went boop. Gone. And a quarter hecticness. Oh man. Work always getting in the way of fun, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, that has to be done, I guess. But I do hope that you keep up with the streaming thing, right? I'm genuinely interested in the next stream, in the Beneath the Sky. I'm purposely avoiding watching any videos or anything about it, right? I want to catch it from the beginning. I'm very excited about that. So feel free to give me a couple of years heads up so I don't miss it. Yeah, so yesterday was long. Probably about as long as today, but it was a long stream yesterday, and I did not get up at 4 a.m. this morning. I was like, I woke up and I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? 7 o'clock? No. You're getting a new laptop. Nice. Which one are you getting? What fancy laptopery are you getting? I wonder, while we're on the subject of something. No. Okay, didn't want to do that. All right. Cables. Hello, Alpha. This is true, Alpha. This is true. How you been? How have you been? Good work. Good work, Dex. Secondhand laptop, HP Envy for Windows gaming. Yeah, so I was looking at some kind of laptop solution for that has like a detachable keyboard, so I can have it on stream and things like that, right? And I saw like Asus had laptop detachable keyboard. I think Asus had one of these. Where, yeah, VivoBook, right? I think that's it. Well, this is working well. There we go. So you can detach you can like get rid of the keyboard. Now I have an i3, like a really old Acer i3 that I could use, but then the battery's not gonna be any good for that. I don't know if this is like oh wow, check out the bevel, basil. What do you call this? The bevel or the is it the bevel around screen or basil around screen? Bevel doesn't seem right. Bezel, right? Check out the bezel around this thing, right? This one is a little bit more tolerable. I'm guessing this never happened. Foldable laptop. I don't need anything fancy. I just want something where I don't have to have the keyboard present, right? GPA is 2.9. I added bezel to my soup and it tastes a little too metallic. It's a bold choice to add bezels to your soup. Oh, okay. So, yeah, it's been a. I wonder if I can show you guys this video from this morning, just because it's so dumb. But it looks like I'm flexing if I show you this. Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna show you this. But I was doing close grip pull downs, and I went over my own body weight. So at the end of the exercise, I kind of went up in the air, so my feet left the ground, and I kind of just floated up with the thing. Luckily, I was alone there; no one saw that. What did I eat for breakfast? 5 slices of pizza. 5 slices of pizza is what I had for breakfast. Since there's no viewers here at this point, right? We just started. Let me see if I can show you the ending of this clip. Can we? It's so stupid. All right, come on, man. How do we? I don't want. There you go. All right, there you go. All right, you're not gonna be able to see that well, but the legs just flew up. Oh, I was trying for a PB. I didn't get there. I remember overworking my muscles so much when I put down the weights. I felt like I was floating. So that probably comes from like a continuous strain on your muscles, where you would get that feeling. If you guys ever did this when you were kids, you stand in the door frame and then you push your hands out for a minute. You just push his hand and then you take a step forward and relax your arms and they're going to sort of start floating up, right? You know what video I want to see? I don't know. Exactly 5? Yes, I think it was 5. 2 and then 3. Yeah, that would be 5. 5 slices of pizza. It was like 2 alerts on top of each other. Thank you so much, Cat Peasant. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. It's 2 alerts on top of each other. Oh, that's, I don't know, man. It's funny. Everything is funny, you know. Oh, well, thank you so much. I think maybe I have to disable one of the alerts. Maybe I've done the alerts wrong. So we have like a new subscriber alert, but is it playing that at the same time? I think maybe I need to disable that one. And we just have the gift subs on. I think that fixes it. Thank you so much, Cat Peasant. I don't know if you guys if you got the new clip or not. I put in a new clip of the bunny this morning. It wasn't super happy. I can add it to the Prime sub today. Let's do that. Let's go to visuals and sound, image library, click the new one, and then save that. So we have that instead. Oh, I had many bunnies, but now we only have 1 bunny left. Hello, Kaz. How you doing? Yeah, that's my bunny that shows up on screen here. Was it different? Oh, nice. Then you get the chewing one. He was so moody this morning, right? So woke up, I got on my plan. Wake up, work out, breakfast, film a new clip for the subs, and then go and stream. But the bunny was so moody this morning. He refused to come out of his house. And the reason he's chewing is the only way I could get some interaction with him was to bribe him with a piece of carrot, right? He just refused to hang out, right? Oh, man, I'm so sorry to hear that. That is it's balls, man. I cried when a last bunny died, and it really, really hit me because she died in my hands, right? And it's just, man. And now with this bunny, it really did a number on me, right? Because every time this bunny is exhibiting some kind of weird behavior, like the other day, he kind of just threw himself on the side. And I thought he died, but he just went to bed, right? But he kind of just sort of flopped over to the side, and I'm like, shit, did he die? And the bunny's like, no, stop bothering me, you asshole. Yeah. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. It really sucks. And it really hurts when they die as well, right? So I'm like, after this one, I don't want to have any pets for a while. Oh man, this was me. I was sitting in the sofa, feeding her like critical care and water, and she was sitting there next to me on this blanket, and she seemed to be getting better. And then all of a sudden, she just freaked out and ran, and I ran after her, and she started running up the stairs, and she like slipped, and then like halfway up the stairs, she just fell over backwards and lay down. And oh my god, it's just just thinking about it, man. And I was in panic, and I was just shouting her name and like trying to like I was petting her, and she wasn't moving, and I was like, what do I do? And oh man, nah, I feel your pain, Cass. It's so shit. I'm sorry I had to go through that. I mean, this happened like a month or so ago for me, and I still feel that. I still feel it in my body just thinking about it, man. It's really, really. It's the hard part about having pets, right? They're lovely creatures. You have them. They're part of you like every day. They're there. They're doing the thing and what have you. And they're gonna die before you, most likely, and that's really hard. All right, should we do a game doll? Let's have a look. Yesterday was Lord of the Fallen, was it? And today we have GarageBand, not GarageBand. What was that? GarageBand was the audio app. What is it called? Guitar Hero. Really? Contraband? Rock Band? Okay, it's Rock Band. There we go, right. Oh man, I was sure it was Guitar Hero. You have two left. Yeah, we only have one now. And the difficult thing is having one bunny isn't good. And if we would have started to exhibit behaviors of depression and happiness, then we would have to give him away to a home that has at least one bunny. So that would have been hectic, because that would have been what was best for him, right? But it seemed to be okay. We made like a little ramp so he can come up in the sofa and sit with us if he's lonely, and everyone talks to him and pets him every day, and it gets the attention, so it should be okay. But having just one bunny isn't ideal for the bunny, but if you just keep getting new bunnies every time, then you are just going to be in a perpetual state of acquiring and bearing bunnies, right? And I don't want that. Yeah, so that's the sad part, Cass, because if you then lose another one, now you're gonna do what's best for you, what's best for the guinea pig, right? And I mean, it's not to say that you can't have just one and make it work, but you know it, right? You know the situation, right? When you have animals, it's like having kids, right? You gotta do what's best for them, right? And that's really hard. That's really, really hard. And this is a conversation we had to have with the kid as well. But like, all right, look, it might be that nonsense, which is his name, can't stay with us. If he gets unhappy and whatever, right? Then I'm gonna have to give him away. And that's a really hard conversation to have with that child. Like, got experience? I'm sure you have, right? On a side note, how do you put up with the guinea pigs? They're so bloody loud at night, right? With the squeaking. And you're like, shut up, man. I'm trying to exist over here in a dream state. You're ruining it with your squeaking. At least this one doesn't chew the cables. That's good. I think if I had to have another bunny again, I would have like a Belgian giant. These ones are pretty substantial, right? Flemish giant. These are big chunky bunnies, right? Big bunnies. That's what Lily, she passed away. She looked like this. She wasn't a Belgian or Flemish giant. She was. She's just a regular bunny. This is clearly not fake, right? It's like, what's happening here, right? How does this, anyway. Yeah, we named it nonsense, right? You ruined it. You ruined what? I don't think you ruined anything. Yeah, so we take turns on naming things. So the first bunny, our kid named Lily. The second bunny was Lieutenant Colombo that I named, and the third bunny, the wife gave it some weird ass name that no one could say, so he just became Nonsense. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, no one said you ruined anything. Okay, so should we try to continue where we left off yesterday? Real name lost to time. Yeah, I mean, she named the bunny after some artist or whatever, and I'm like, nah, I'm not saying that, man. It's just nonsense. And then the bunny became Nonsense. I don't get it. Right? We've done Game Duel. You redeemed Game Duel 5 minutes ago. We've done Game Duel. I'm confused. I tried Hackfont and it works for me surprisingly well. Yeah, Shivro. So I installed Solus, I think, and it was the default. Oh, you okay? You were away. I didn't first try it. I got it on the third attempt. So the first one I was wrong about the franchise, but there was only another alternative after that, and then I guessed the wrong number, and then I got in the third one, right? So yeah, I installed Solus, and it was the default font for the terminal in Solus. In Budgie, and I really liked the font. I didn't care for the distro at all, but the font is like, there's something really pleasant about this font. So I figured out what font it was, and then I've been using that ever since. They're not that loud. Yeah, so I was really confused. Like, what did you mean? But okay, so you missed the game though. Okay. Well, you can always watch on YouTube, right? If you want to see it, you can go to YouTube. Let me see if I can just grab this thing. Yeah, all right, cool. Thanks. You can rewind a couple of seconds, right? They're not that loud. The one that passed away was named Susanna. Now what's left is Rosa. No, Rosetta. No, Rose and Spark. Rose is Smoothhead and Spark is Rosetta guinea pig. So you named Spark, and it's a Rosetta guinea pig. Wouldn't it make more sense to name Rose Rosetta? All right. I'm guessing you didn't get them at the same time. Smoothhead. I don't know what that is. Smoothhead Piggy. Obviously, those in the know refer to guinea pigs as piggies, just so you know. Oh, I see. Does it have that? Does it have that little flurry at the top where the hair kind of goes in a different direction? Oh man, albino animals freak me out, man. I don't like. If you look at the white bunnies, with red eyes, man, they're like the least cute animal ever, right? This is not cute, okay? It looks like it's got like permanent eye infection. These bunnies aren't cute. Right? This one is a little bit. This one doesn't have the creepy red eyes. So this one's kind of all right. Is that tire tracks? Why is it sitting outside? Never mind that, right? But no, I don't like the red-eyed bunnies. They're freaky, right? They'd be, oh, look at the gorgeous bunny. No, man, you look like a freaking gremlin with those ears, man. Get out of here. Susanna was also Rosetta. On another, I'm reconsidering Rust for my project device-wise. All right. What's your conclusion? Exploring different terminals brings so many new things, even fonts. True, and I realized how much I like Alacrity and how much I don't like Westterm. I probably would really like Westterm if I configured it, but the best I'm going to do is configure it to be like Alacrity, and there's nothing. I don't use ligatures or care about any of that stuff. And I know about the grapheme clusters and the issues there, but again, it's not relevant to me. Anyway, creepy animal. Well, okay, aren't you gorgeous? Now that's a pig in a blanket. What a joke. Knowing only Python and sprinkle of C makes it a tough call, I bet. We had a Labrador when I was younger. His name was Scooby-Doo. After years of that name evolving, we ended up with calling him Booby, which was short for Booby Scoob, which was an evolution of many other names. That makes sense. I had a cat. He ended up being called Greasy. I'll be scared working on the thing you're currently working on because I feel too stuck and too scared to fail. Failing is okay. Failing is how we figure things out, right? Rock Band 2 was too easy. Yeah, when you saw the drums, it'd either be Guitar Hero or Rock Band. It's a bastardized translation from Polish to English. Dziękuję. Was that right? Nie dobre pies. Perhaps you could add another link to your Twitch bio text with YouTube Live on with that link to... Oh, that's a good idea. I should probably do that. So what I have to do today when I'm done streaming is accounting, and I should update my stream page. So let me send a message to myself. This is what I do. I text myself on Discord. Where am I? There we are. Okay. So we need to do accounting and update Twitch about page to include the link to YouTube and VODs. That's a very good point. Thank you for that. Okay. Right. So I had a bit of a thought this morning about how we might be able to do this. I'm gonna move us into standing desk a little bit. I'm not sure why I took my headphones off, right? That has nothing to do with anything. All right, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the sub, Cat Peasant. It's very nice of you. Thank you. Again, like thanks to everyone yesterday as well who were subbing to the goal. My kid was delighted when I told her that we ended the day on 70 gift subs. She's like, oh, maybe we can do it. And I said, how many subs do we have to get each day to reach the goal? If the goal is 250 and we got 70, how many do we need if it's 18 days left? And she's like, oh, 10, right? Roughly to reach the goal. And it's not 10 gift subs. That's not right, is it? But anyway, it doesn't. The long and short is it doesn't seem too unachievable, right? Do you sometimes sketch architecture of something you work on, or rather jump straight to code because you launched Royo or pen and paper? I love pen and paper. I also have something called a Remarkable 2, which is so I can doodle things. I tend to build the prototype. Sorry, that light is actually quite annoying, but I'm not going to be standing for too long. I build the prototype to get an idea for it, right? If this is software I've never made before, as in like this is complete. If I were to make a game, I never made a game before. I'll probably make a couple of. Oh wow! Thank you so much, Cat Peasant. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. That's very, very kind of me. Oh my God, we're on 80 now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Where are you? There you are. Thank you so much, buddy. Do enjoy your day. Thank you. Just so today's subs are accounted for. Oh my God. That is really sweet of you. Thank you. I think that's gonna go a long way. Thank you. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your day. So I like to just make things and sort of explore kind of what we're doing here, right? So instead of me doodling this up, I kind of like to program it out a little bit, but I do like small projects to do things. Then I do end up drawing as well. It depends entirely on the problem I'm solving, right? If I were to build an operating system, there is no way I would start with any kind of drawing, right? I would just go straight into literature, coding alongside to get like my first one done, and then I would start elaborating there. With code, you understand very quickly where the problems are, right? So with code, you'll see, okay, this is clearly why this is difficult, this is where it's hard and difficult to solve, and these kind of things, right? So for that reason, I think code is better than doodling in a lot of cases. But if you're building something you've done before, let's say you're building another website or another to-do app or whatever, then you're gonna have no problem. You can just doodle the whole thing out, and you can, because you've already got all the components in your head, right? You already thought about all these things. So what I was thinking about this morning was how can I maybe and this comes. I wish I remember the name of everyone who chats with me, and I'm sorry I don't. But this comes from something someone said yesterday. It could have been Ithrak, I don't know. But they said, sorry, man, yesterday's stream was so long. They mentioned something, and that led me to this conclusion that maybe we can build a layout thing that we operate on. Now, this is a little bit difficult, but let's pretend that we do a we're doing a vehicle for our layout, right? We're using that as an analogy here, right? So the vehicle is going to drive through the tree, and we're going to have different vehicles, right? We can, for instance, the alignment can never change. So once the alignment is laid out, there's no reason for this thing to ever change the way it's behaving, right? Whereas stacks can change depending on the children. The only way an alignment can change. So it's like if something needs to be laid out, then we need to lay out all the children as well, right? So if we end up in this kind of layout, then we're sort of like forced to do a layout. Wow, Shalcha, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the sub. I'm gonna try, Shalcha. I'm gonna try to. Hey, we got the new one. We got the new alert now from this morning. I'm gonna try to shit, my train of thought is just all right. I'm gonna try to reorganize my brain a little bit. I'm gonna try to run a little bit of words on stream again, Shaltea, right? You were doing so amazing yesterday, and you guys look like you had a lot of fun with it. So I'll definitely I'll throw that in again. Right, so what was I saying? Yeah, so certain things can change. So they need different vehicles, right? And if we do end up in a case where you have to perform a layout on something, then you have to do a layout on everything else, right? So the vehicle is kind of more for locating and then deciding what to do, right? The moment something like changes, then again, thank you so much for that, Shatreya. We're doing well today. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. All right, let's have a quick look in general dev. Light switch as well. Yeah, okay, all right, I understand. So this is kind of that's the drawing for the hardware, right? There you go. Serverless. I've heard so many horror stories from Amazon, people who use AWS, that I would never host anything on AWS ever. It's too terrifying, right? So this is kind of like a high level overview of what you have, right? So it makes sense because a lot of it is kind of like hardware related. The software architecture, I don't know if that, yeah, that's also very high level. So this is all kind of like very high level. I get that part, right? I totally understand where you're coming from with that, right? It makes sense. Okay. So can we build this vehicle? All right, let's sit down again. I'm not getting over the yawning. All right. Come on down over here. Yeah, we did some singing yesterday. We're gonna try not to do that because I like you guys and I don't want to scare you away. You hate aphids. I don't know what aphids is. Are they like arachnids? Because I don't love arachnids. So we came up with this worker yesterday, but I think maybe we need something different, right? Layout. We have layout already. So let's see if we can do this, right? I thought you were doing really well though, shall I say, right? I think that's like, it was very cool to see you guys do it. And for some reason, I kind of felt like I don't want to get involved, right? Because I'm running this because I'm doing other things like eating. And if I start getting involved, then there's like less thing. But if I have to take a break today, I'm gonna fire it up anyway. Oh yes, those things. Yes, we talked about this yesterday. Oh my god, and I mentioned how my roses are completely attacked by these things as well, right? But yes, how do we do this then? Let me get some headphones on again. What am I gonna do to stop yawning? I can't get the room cold or any more oxygen in here. Well, it clearly was a mistake to stream for 12.5 hours yesterday, but if I could, I would do it again. But I have to go and attend Sunday dinner. But like I said, I'm gonna try to stream every single day until Halloween, right? Every single day. So how do we build these like layout vehicles? Okay, so the one thing that we have to figure out is like who's doing the layout, right? So who is driving the vehicle of layoutness, right? Thank you so much for the hype train, guys. That's very nice. And it keeps doing this thing, right? And then like, do I have to like unblock that thing? I do this. No, I can't even do that. There we go, right? Only visible to you. You know that's a lie, Twitch, okay? And then we can do that. Choo choo. Choo choo. All right. Thank you so much. And I think, what is that? Some kind of like pig bear thing. Very happy. So, for instance, in the stack, whoever drives the vehicle must be the stack itself, right? In the case of a stack, no. So the widget owns the vehicle, right? Maybe we don't add that to the dictionary. The widget owns the vehicle. So if that's the case, then we kind of already figure that, and then it's gonna drive the vehicle, and so how's the vehicle behave? So we have to that it has to return something, and here's where it gets a little bit particular, right? In the event of something like the stack, we have like a for each here. We have node and the children of that node, and then some other magic here, I think. I don't know what that is, but it don't matter, right? So we're going to start layout. Size. That's going to be 0. And then we're going to return the size here. But really what we need to do is we need to return like a state here. And then here we'll do like node.layout. And that's gonna be the widget size, and then we have our constraint, So if we do it this way, then we do constraints dot subtract max from max width, the child size dot width, and then we're gonna pass in constraints here for that to work. And then, so here's the thing though, right? This would actually be a state that we get back. No, it's not that. So it's really about how we do. Oh, fiddlesticks. I love the idea of having the thermos here. I can have a lot. I need like 30 of these so we can just have infinity. Okay. Ah, that's good and warm. It's not good though. For some reason, it makes the milk taste like almond milk, and it makes no sense. But okay. Yeah. So what does this thing do? This thing should. Oh, if we cache the size, then we can just do that, right? And I saw this in Taffy yesterday, so we could possibly cache the size, right? Cache the layout, which is size plus constraints. Okay, we could do that. So it's not really going to be that expensive to go through a few 100,000 widgets then. Let's do some benchmarking, right? Who doesn't love benchmarking? Okay, let's do. Oh man, that's gonna require me to set up criterion. Okay, benches. Let's go and figure out how to set up criterion. Is criterion the current Rust benchmark framework? Is that it? Let's have a look if someone has made anything new since Criterion. I know there's one more, but I don't know if that's the Hyperfine and Bencher. That's CI. We don't care about that. Divan, right? What's Hyperfine? Oh, GitHub. Did you guys notice that? So GitLab is just really fast compared to GitHub. I say that, and then it was really shit. But I remember clicking around on it, and it was really fast the other day, and I was very surprised by that. Right? Okay, so this is doing. Don't eat yourself. Both were written in Ruby. Yes, possibly, but that doesn't mean they're both equally slow. Message return exchange, took that from my work in automotive. They just have a structure for dealing with communication over cameras, automotive. Oh, that's cool. That's like, I haven't built anything like that, but I did think about building like an automated garden. Like me and my sister-in-law, we had like this idea that we're gonna build allotments. If you guys don't know what allotments are, right? All right, let's fix that. These are like little patches of land that you have, so you can like share an allotment with. So this like whole area. Actually, this one. So you get like these like small places where you can grow things, and these are for like people who live in big cities where you don't get a lot of this stuff. They can have these like allotments, so they rent a piece of land where they can grow veggies and stuff like that, right? So you can have like these different allotments, and we kind of had this idea that we could build this like big allotment thing, but we automate this as well, so people can. They have cameras that are watching the allotment, so you can log into your allotment, see how it's coming along, and then you can apply things like water, plant nutrition and stuff like that. You can put in a request for what seeds to be put in and things like that. So you don't even have to go there, right? But you can go there and harvest the crop when you're done, right? But it was kind of like a real life Tamagotchi thing in the shape of a garden. We're like, would it be cool if you could log into your garden and then choose to water it and do this thing? But then afterwards I realized that no, that's super boring. Who wants to watch nothing happen for hours on end, right? No one, that's who. So we threw that idea away. Okay, so Hyperfine is a command line tool that you run. Okay, let's look at this divan thing then. Let's see how this compares, right? Cool. Okay, so let me make one of these things, right? Yeah, I have one of those like little like self-watering grow light kind of thing for my herbs, but for some reason they all died anyway. I have to replant it. Well, I planted coriander or cilantro and parsley, but they just got all tangled up and started like the parsley went into the coriander. It was like teenagers cohabiting up thing. It was like, no, stop it. It didn't work. Hello, Enrico. How are you? So I need to change it up a little. But I liked it though, right? Maybe like spring onions in the middle. Spring onions would be like the chaperones. All right. But parsley and coriander are my preferred herbs, right? I like basil as well. Basil is really good too. And parsley, basil, coriander, and chives. Chives would be good. Yeah, we're doing pretty well, but I think the main contributors have contributed, so I think it's gonna slow down to like a slow burn now. I don't think we're gonna have 70 per day, but rather we're gonna end up. I think tomorrow we might look at 5, and then it depends. It's gonna be very varied how it goes, right? Okay, so we can try to run Divan here to benchmark some things and see what the cost is of sending a probe into the tree, right? So let's do a cargo add dev Divan. There we go. And then we're gonna have benches. Is it benches we need? No, it's just bench. Right. Brain. Name example harness falls. Okay. Benchy. Don't tell me how to spell Benchy. I spell Benchy however I want to. Now instead of fixing it, I'm just gonna be stubborn and not do anything about it. Create a benchmark file at benches example rs. Okay, new benches example .rs, and then we're gonna have a main function there, and we're gonna call divan main. Cool. And then register a Fibonacci function and benchmark it over multiple cases. All right. Let's just copy this thing. Okay, so we should now be able to run this with cargo bench, all right? I'm guessing we need nightly for this. You see nothing. Cargo bench. Maybe we don't need nightly for this. That'll be pretty good. No, we don't. Okay. Ooh, this looks pretty good. Oh, this was way more convenient than Criterion. Have you guys tried this? Damn. Do the recursive calls in Fibonacci spawn multiple threads, and that's why it's a good benchmark too? No, it doesn't. And it's not really a good benchmark because Rust doesn't have tail recursion, right? Let's see if I can, let me show you this. Code. If we do this, look at this. time Python fib memo pi. Look at this thing. 14.8 milliseconds. And then we're going to time target release fib. 25.81 milliseconds, right? So the Python code that includes starting up the Python runtime is effectively faster, right? It's almost twice as fast. It's twice as fast user time. I don't which one was what now, right? Time after execute in is what's known as walk log time. It's simply a measure of how long it took from the start of the command until it finished, right? So this took almost twice as long for this thing to run, right? Oh yeah, of course, John. That's obviously what we should do, right? But so there actually these two are part of a video that I never released that I made, which is talking about which language is the best programming language, and so to explain why these two exist and behave the way they do, right? This one is called memo because we're memoizing this. We're memoizing the results. We don't do that here, right? And the point of this was not to show that Python was faster than Rust, but rather to say it doesn't matter how fast a language is if you're not able to write code that utilizes that language. So which is why we have these things, right? So this is not really about tail code recursion, but if you wanted to write a faster version, the thing is, I kind of want to, let me see if I have this somewhere. Whoops. There we go. I deleted the video, but maybe I have something here. No, I'm sorry. Oh, we don't have to, right? We already have. Well, we already beat Rust with Python, right? And also as part of this thing, if you look at raw graphics, Python wins, right? You look at the benchmark here. You can see that Python is the fastest language here as well for this thing, right? And the reason for this thing is not to say you should use Python, not Rust. It's to say it depends. Everything depends, right? You shouldn't say, wow, Rust is fast, or wow, C is fast. Now, the right thing to say would be you can reach your limitations with Python faster than you can with Rust. So you reach a point with your Python code where you can't go any faster. The language is in your way, and you can overcome that with another language like C or Rust or whatever, right? But you have to know how, right? Yeah, I mean, if you can wrangle the snake, man, you can wrangle the snake. But yeah, so Fibonacci is a recursive function. We could certainly memoize this thing. Let's actually see what that would look like. If we did this, we do memo Fibonacci, and for this thing, we would have to. What we would need to do is we need to have like an outer one and an inner one. Let's pass in a U64 and a hash map where we can store everything, right? It's a U64 and a U64, I think. That's what we're looking for, right? All right, so this is not the most efficient way of doing this. I'm just showing you guys how you can do this. So you need to calm down if you can't, all right? We're just gonna call memo here and memo here, and we're gonna pass in the hash map as well. There we go. And then for this thing, we're gonna create a new hash map, and then we're gonna call memo with the number and the hash map, mutable reference to the hash map, and that's it, right? So now we can match on the number, and if it's 0 to 2, I think that equates to 1, and any other number, we're going to do a hash map get. What did I just say? I need you to calm the fuck down now, son. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse there, right? Yeah, you can do this. You can do this. You don't have to do this recursively. You could do this in a loop. Everything that you do recursively, you can convert to a loop, right? But I'm not that invested in these things. I'm just going to show the difference here, nothing else, right? All right. So what was I saying? Okay, we'll match on a hash map dot, or should we just do the entry thing? Entry, and we're going to pass in the number, and then we're going to do... can we just match on the hash map get of this thing, and we can do copied here. That doesn't matter, right? And then whoops, I want to okay, so it refused to do that. Okay, so some value, then we're just going to return the value. If it's none, then we are going to calculate the value, which is this. Whoops. Let val equal to that, and yes, that's fine. And then we're going to return the value. Don't need any of this code, and then we're just going to do hash map dot insert the value, number and value, right? I think that's it. Okay, right. So if we run this now, fiddlesticks. Okay. Expected U64, found a unit, but it's not a unit, right? Oh shit! I forgot the return type. U64. There you go. Right. What? Oh. All right, and this thing only works with references. So this one was actually slower with the original one, but as we get further in, so let's go up to some larger numbers, right? 32. Let's go up to 35, maybe. Let's throw a 35 in here as well, right? We don't care about the lower numbers of fib here, right? Let's get rid of these. So we go from 16 and onwards, right? Okay, so now if we look at this thing, we memorize this a little bit, and there's a significant difference between these two, right? Most of the time, Enrico, I know what the problem is because I don't read the error messages, much to Tempora's delight. Instead, we just oh no, this would beat the pants out of the Pi version, no doubt, right? We are looking at like nanoseconds, 1.4 microseconds here, right? This thing would just crush the Python version, like no doubt, right? Pi plus code on the. If we go down this rabbit hole, then I'm not going to be able to solve the actual problem I want to solve today, so we're not going to do that. But we can. What I think you guys should do, if you want to, I'm happy to do these things where we can explore and lab about with a few of these things, right? So when we do a stream like Tea with Toggle, right, like we did yesterday, then on a stream like that, we can explore these things, right? So the long and short of it is this: feel free to join the Discord, right? There's this and there is the Discord. And if you join the Discord, you can dump suggestions like this in the stream channel, right? Like, could we do like an explore, like benchmarking with Fibonacci? Can we try Python and this and that? Like, please feel free to leave these because I think this is interesting too. I really enjoy doing this thing. Welcome to the Discord, Heron. I really enjoy doing these things. It's just that I'm very limited on time today because I have to go and attend Sunday dinner. And Sunday dinner is sadly not around the corner. It takes me a while to travel there. And so, all right. But yeah. Okay. So please dump these things in the Discord under the stream channel, like suggestions. I'm more than open for doing these things, right? And again, John, yeah, I think comparing this to Pi would certainly be a better option. And you know what? I think I might have already done this. Well, there you go, right? I've already done this. Oh, right, we just yeah, no, that's the same thing, right? This is literally the same thing that we just rolled, right? So yeah, it's already done, right? But again, please make these suggestions, right? You only need to cache the last two numbers. What do you mean by that, Skylar? Because you reuse a lot of numbers, right? Good morning, Scott. How you doing? Could we bench a non? Yeah, so we should have a non-recursive function as well, right? We should make this in a loop, but I don't. But please suggest these on Discord, right? Rather than now, because I'm not going to do them now. Now I wanted a benchmark so we can go and explore what the cost would be to visit 314,000 elements, right? So let's make something like a visitor, right? And we're going to store a state on here. We'll have a use size on that one. And then we're going to have a function for make data. Okay, and that's going to return a vec of use size. And what should we do here, right? So we're going to make 0 to 314,000, right? So 314,000 is just something that we happen to pick. We generated a bunch of lines from lorem ipsum, and we inserted like new line characters and stuff. We broke the text up so we could iterate over the lines, and the lines turned out to be 314,000-ish lines. And then we made widgets out of all these lines, and which is where this 314 comes from. It's nothing to do with anything else, right? So we can just collect this thing now, and that's it, right? The champion pumpkin in the parade was 2,325 pounds. That's a lot of pumpkin. But the Fibonacci series is fib and 2, meaning you only need to memorize n1 and n2 at a time because n3 will never be used again. I don't think that's true, right? You are reusing a lot of numbers. Can we print here? I don't know if we can print in here. I don't know if the benchmark is gonna do anything, right? Hi. It does, okay. So we can print out all the numbers that we are reusing, right? And it's gonna be more than 2. Okay, there's quite a lot of numbers here, Skylar. So maybe I misunderstand what you meant, but there's a lot of reuse of the numbers. But are they always the same numbers? Maybe 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. Yeah, so it seemed to be the same numbers, right? I don't know. I don't care. Okay, let's just go okay with that one, right? But again, please dump this on Discord if you want us to do this on, like, go through this stuff on stream. I would be delighted to do it, right? I do find it fun. I'm just a little bit too much too stressed right now to get this thing working. So okay, so our visitor is just gonna walk through the no, don't do that, right? There we go. It's going to iterate through the tree. It's not going to. It's going to walk through the collection really and visit all the numbers. And what should we do with this thing, right? We could make it change the numbers, right? That shouldn't be. We shouldn't be able to optimize that away, I think, right? So if we implement the visitor and we have a visit function here. And then we get the data that we're visiting. That's going to be a use size. And what we're going to do is we're going to do data is plus equal to south 0, right? So we're incrementing whatever we specify on this thing. I don't think that's going to be possible for the compiler to optimize that away, right? So we're going to make some data, and then we're going to deal, right? Okay, so let's put the main function at the bottom because we're not savages. We're not savages. All right, so let's get rid of this stuff and let's create the data. So we can do that here, right? So 314,000, and then here we're gonna set the max as a U size, not a shoe size. Max, not a shoe size. And visitor will be fine for this thing. So we're gonna have a data that has to be mutable, and we're gonna do. I guess we could do like a struct data here, where the inner is a vec of U size, okay, and then we can import the data as well. A good talking there, right? U size, and then we just do this. Okay. Right. I think the stream would be over before we get there, John. My computer's pretty cool, alright? But it's not that cool, okay? Alright, I'll take your word for it, Skylar. I'm gonna stress this like one more time. We're not doing this now. Please bring this to Discord, not here. I mean, you guys can chat about it, obviously, but I'm not gonna get involved in it, right? So, but to keep the idea around, okay? That's what I'm saying. So data needs to be mutable because we're gonna make changes to it. New, we're gonna pass in n. That's gonna give us 314,000 entries in there, and then we're gonna create the visitor. This does not. Yeah, it has to be mutable, right? Beans. Visitor. Do we have like a new for the? No, we don't. We can just give it a number 2, right? Easy. And then data dot apply visitor, and then we pass in the visitor there, right? So just so we have this. Just so we have this now, right? So let's do the apply function here. Visitor. If this works, that means that we are going to be able to apply a new strategy to how we do layouts in Anathema, and this should be significantly faster if in fact it is, right? So for this to make sense, we're gonna make some changes to this as we go along, but we sort of have to end up in the microsecond territory, right? If this reaches milliseconds, then no, this is a deal breaker, right? This has to be really fast, right? So the visitor should visit the data. So we'll say for I in self.inner, and we need mutable references, and then visitor.visit I. Okay, that's it. This should now be possible, right? Now this is supposed to return a number. I don't think it needs to. Actually, if we do return a number, we should be okay. So we can return data in a... What's happening? Okay. Okay. Really? Apply. Oh yeah, SU64. It's the same thing on this system, so it's not a biggie, right? Okay, I'm gonna have to dereference that. Oh man, you're so needy, Rust. Come on, man. Okay, so let's make that SU size. Anything else? Or are you happy with this? Whoopsie. There we go, right? Okay, 58 microseconds. That's the worst one was 842 microseconds, which is kind of a lot, but it's not that bad, right? So we end up with something that is kind of okay looking at this. Let's say that we double this thing then, right? So we're gonna have 628 then, right? I mean, let's just go for a straight up million, right? It stands to reason that it should be about 3 times as slow. So it should be about median, should be about 150, 170, right? 190. But the slowest one was a millisecond. Blech. And that's probably just a one-off. That's probably what's happening when it's warming up and the data isn't in cache lines or anything like that, right? But it's okay-ish. It's okay-ish. But what would this be like if we made an alternative of this? Hello, Vlux, how you going? If we made an alternative where we don't visit all the nodes, we're just gonna scan. We're not gonna scan. I should have just used an actual tree though, and a node path instead. So why don't we, right? Why don't we cargo add path projects Rust anathema, and we're gonna use the hello San, how you doing? There we go, right? So we use an actual tree instead, and let's get the. Can we do this? BPM. All right. That's very good, Sam. That's good. I did my. Someone mentioned they bought Digma DeFi yesterday, and I had to flex. I think I had 169 words per minute, 160 something words per minute at 100% accuracy. But I did a couple of warm-ups before that, and then I did what I have to do to type better, and that's not to have a microphone in my face. I actually moved the microphone away, and then I banged out 160 words per minute. But anything over 80 words per minute is fine, right? I show you what I'm talking about, right? Those of you who saw yesterday, right? Who didn't see this. Let me show you what it's like to type when I have the microphone in my face. For some reason, I just can't. And the worst thing is when you're using Control W to delete characters, right? It's just that wasn't too bad, but it's just having the microphone in my face is so unpleasant, right? Okay, so okay, we have to do tree here. Whoops. And I think if we can use the so we made a typing game like this for the terminal, which you point at your code and it will do a typing game over your code. Hello, Asherian. How you doing? Typing speed is irrelevant. Absolutely, Vlux. Typing speed, as long as as long as typing doesn't get in your way of thinking, it's fine, right? I can't even remember what it was like debugging code where the error is like a missing semicolon or anything like that, right? Like actually debugging this stuff, it's been decades since I was even in that situation, right? I don't make errors now. I just make really obscure features that the compiler don't understand. Maybe the visitor or the pathfinder. I think the pathfinder is what I want to use here. So let's implement a pathfinder for this. The biggest hurdle for me with this keyboard is to not do this, okay? When I have my 60% keyboard, that's what I do. I do curly brackets, new line, curly brackets, right? And this keyboard it's better to bang out the curly brackets and then escape I carriage return. But it's just getting to that point. It takes me a hot minute, right? So in this case, we're gonna have the value. So let's make the tree just operate on. Wait, where's that W coming from? Is this thing generic over? Oh, that's a bit annoying. Really, this should be the input. All right, we're gonna make a change here. So we obviously broke a lot in doing this, and that's fine. And then here we have to say, so here we can say where P is pathfinder and T is or not. And then this thing just becomes P. Right. Oh man, you're not gonna let that one go away. Poll. We don't have. Wait, is this the tree itself? So we can just say that the input is T. And we're done, right? Easy fix. So then here, the input is widget kind. Oh shit, idiot warning. This is the implementation. Input is widget kind. There we go. There, fixed. That kind of irked me a little bit, right? Hello, day loop. It does. What keyboard are you using, John? I had a 3-day debug before. I had a 4-day debug when I was writing pick micro assembly, and I was so excited when I solved it. I just went overboard with celebration. Who's Pajadia? I only raise people I can win, I can beat Scott, right? So I would raise someone who just got their Ferris sweep or who swapped to Cormac yesterday or something like that, right? I'm not gonna race if I can lose. That's just bad. Kinesis 360. I'm really interested in a keyboard with a key well. So it's either the Glove 80 or the Kinesis. They are interesting to me. Okay, so... Oh, really? Okay, I think I bungled this too. No, I didn't. Right, we just have to get rid of this. And then fix this again. So I don't have to think. Right, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna have a number here. This is what we're gonna have. And we're gonna do the input change. So we do node. Oh, I shouldn't call it node then. I should call it value. Like that. And for the parent, we're gonna do the same thing. So this is akin to marking everything as dirty, but we only operate on one path. So if you guys remember the taffy tree yesterday, they had to kind of recursively go and look up the parent all the way, but we already have the entire path, so we don't have to do that, right? 170 words per minute. Oh yeah, nah, there's no way I would be anywhere near that, Scott. I have the problem with that I don't know only of him keybinds, so my cursor half the time jumps randomly around the buffer or to another buffer. There isn't really that many things to keep track of when it comes to near Vim. If you have caps lock, then that's just cruise control for danger in Vim, right? You can cause all kinds of exciting damage with that, right? Welcome to the Discord. So yeah, but really, it's just like the basic navigation, right? On a level, right, and then the larger jumps, and sort of then the medium jumps, and then Control W, right? Control W split, Control W split, Control W up, Control W left. I say up and left, but I'm using K and L and J and AJKL, right, to navigate this thing. And that's it, right? I mean, you can do this one as well if you want to split things into a tab, but you don't have to go any further than that, right? I think that's that's sufficient. Holy beanbags, $1,000, man. Look, John. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, if you're in Europe, right? If you're in Europe, you can get a DeFi, and you can get a DeFi and spend twice as much on the keyboard and still only pay about 30 euros in shipping, right? So even though the keyboard with all bells and whistles, we're talking wireless, underglow, built-in tenting, Bluetooth if you wanted to, wired, the whole lot, right? All kit caboodle, $600 plus $30-ish for shipping. And it's still going to be cheaper than a Kinesis. And if you don't like it, you can send it back. How about that? You can send it back. All you pay for is the shipping to send it back. All right. If you strip a DeFi down, so it's basically just a wired version of it, so it's akin to a Moonlander, then it's the same price roughly as a Moonlander as well, right? Can it also be a hover pad? In your imagination, it can be whatever you want, right? You can even name it. And I'm sure they would ship to Norway for you. I actually don't know the last part, but I assume they will ship there, right? But then again, I guess if you're in Norway, it's technically not part of the European Union, right? So you might end up paying some ridiculous import tax. So maybe it ends up roughly the same. I don't know. It's a difficult one. Okay, so we have ourselves a pathfinder, and we're going to apply this pathfinder to a tree. But now we have to build up a tree with a heinous amount of entries in it. So for this thing to look roughly the same, we would have to add a parent, a child, and 314,000 widgets to said child. So let's have our new data something rather around here. Let's make a tree function here, okay? Grow a tree, and there's going to be a size there. And what are we going to get back? We're going to get back a tree that is generic over use size. I'm going to start off with an empty tree. Whoopsie. We're just going to do that to compile a little. itty bitty compiler committee. And then we can make the tree. Sometimes my brain just skips a beat. Sometimes. Very funny. All right. And let's see. We don't have the output. All right. There we go. Ta-da. Now beans again is going to do something completely different. So the first thing we need to do is we need to do... So trees are a little bit not convoluted. So we made a different tree here, which is actually quite nice if we look at the API for this thing, right? You can just attach values to the tree somewhere. And that's quite nice. Maybe I should use this tree. No, we can't because, and here's the funny old bean, right? With the anathema tree, we sometimes need to know the ID before we insert it into the tree. And for that, we need to have an insert which begins a transaction, right? So we do this, and then we're gonna commit at, and we're gonna pass in the root for the first one. And then we need to pass in a value, I think. Commit at takes a value. Oh, right. So we insert here, and we're going to commit at, and then we're going to pass in a value. That would be 0, right? Am I on the right path here? Yeah, we are. Let's have a look at the tree. And I think that should be fine. So here, we're just gonna do grow a tree with NSU size. And that should now panic, so we can fiddlesticks. Oh, really? And there you are. Ow! I didn't want to do that. Sometimes the history is just bananas, okay? Okay, there's nothing in there, and there's nothing in the values either, so I have clearly failed. Oh, sorry, that's in commit child, isn't it? Yeah, all right. So we have to make it a child of the root. You cannot commit to that position. So commit at would be insert a sibling, and commit child would be add a child, right? You all understand this. So this is now going to give us a path. We can get the path from this, but we also unwrap that. We also already know the path of this thing, right? So let's say that this one is the root component, and then we're gonna insert to 0, and we're gonna commit a child, which is 1. And then we're gonna do another one there, which is gonna be 2. And then we'll do, let's do quite a few children here, shall we, right? So for I in 1 to 10 or 100, it shouldn't really matter, right? So that's gonna be I and I. There we go. Oh no. That's U16, right? There is a limit to how large a branch can be, but I think that's perfectly fine. Okay, I have bungled this. Oh yeah, what am I doing? I just have to commit the child to this. Actually, I want this to go to 0, 1. Like that. That's what I want. Whoops. Cargo benchy. There we go. Oh, fiddlesticks. That if we do that, that should create a tree at 0, 1. You know what? That tree is unreadable. Illegibly tree. Right, now it's a little bit more readable. Okay, so we have... Thank you all for the follows. All right, so we have 0, we have 0, 0. And what did I try to do? Oh yeah, that's gonna be 0, 0 as well. Okay, so I see what foolishness I've done, right? That has to be 0, 0, And then we can do another one. So now it should be correct. Yay, it's correct. Okay, so now we're adding like 100 elements there. And now we're going to grab one of these at random, right? Well, not at random, but sort of at random. So we can do 0, and then we can do 44. There we go, right? And we're going to insert into this thing the entire size now, okay, of size. And we're going to commit I. So this thing is now, we're not going to panic this tree because it's going to be large, okay? It's going to take a while to run this thing because we have to build up that bloody tree. So we're going to have some pretty gross numbers now. Let's not do that. Okay, so how can we pre-create the data so that's not... we need that. We need to pre-create the data. Okay. Wow, Firefox, sort your ship out. Documentation. I didn't realize we haven't even looked at this. Okay, so they have their own black box. That's pretty good. They can take a bencher and use bench. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a setup. So we're gonna take a bencher as our inputs here. Then I don't know if we can do this. We could not. Oh, is that the return, right? No. Well, I mean, it is. But that's still not it. Okay, so we just need to bring this in scope. How much do I bench? I don't know, but I had a PB today. I showed those of you who went here, you missed out. I showed a clip of me doing something in a gym today. Although that was on a machine where you do lateral pull downs or close grip pull downs, and the clip was me trying to do it with a weight higher than my body weight. So in the end, I didn't get it all the way right, and in the end, my feet come off the ground and I just fly off the machine. 12 kilos seems about right, and I thought that was delightfully funny, right? Definitely needs to procrastinate. If you don't procrastinate the data, then you're failing in life, right? It's just how it is, right? Okay, so this benchmark, we're gonna have we have the Pathfinder now. So let's make a PF in here, right? So PF, and we're gonna put that one as usize. You know what? Why don't we just change this to usize, right? I don't know why I insist on using a U64. That's kind of dumbassery, right? Okay, no benchmark function, right? Because we haven't actually used the bencher, right? So now we have to use bencher dot, and then how do we do this thing, right? Bench local, and you want to move something in here. Okay, so we're supposed to black box the tree, which will most likely return the tree. Yeah, so this will just return the tree. This is removing an optimization, right? So or this is like helping the compiler to not optimize away our data. And then once we have the tree, we can do an apply. And then how do we operate in the tree, right? So we have something like apply Pathfinder. There we go, right? Apply Pathfinder. And then we're going to pass in our Pathfinder. Now, do we have to pass ownership of the Pathfinder? We do. And we're supposed to pass in a node path as well, right? So to pick out a node path here, we can use... this is just dictating the size of the tree, right? So this will be at 0. This becomes 0, 0. That becomes 0, 0, 0. So 0, 0, 44. Let's go with 0, 0, 44, and then somewhere in the middle of the tree, right? 150,000. So we're gonna pass in the path and then do the pathfinder. So now we can actually check, and when we're done with this thing, the tree should be modified from the root to this path, right? So all of these should have changed with this value. We should add 314,000 to these values. So obviously we should check that before we care about the numbers, but let's run it nonetheless. And now we should get a benchmark out of here. Well, we should if I did the right thing. Yeah, so what's the problem there then? Is it running this multiple times? Then you can't move that. Simple as that. Oh no, it's gonna move that either way. Okay, well the pathfinder isn't an issue. But the tree is... Okay, can we just black box? You know what? Forget the black boxery. And forget this move. Oh no, that's a U16. 65,535, right? That's the big... Oh, there's a problem with that, isn't it? So yeah, this is never gonna work. Alright, we can only use U16 here. Blah. Okay, well, we use a U16 max here as well then. That's confusing. No, that's not a U size, right? That is U16. And the tree is a U size. Yeah. So where does that come in then? Oh, it's here. Right, here it is. Oopsie. All right. Hello, Caleb. How you doing? So this is a little bit more exciting, right? Look at the numbers here. But for these numbers to make sense, we have to make sure that they're actually being correctly applied, right? So we have to look at the tree from all of these different paths, right? And make sure that they have in fact changed, right? And we could just, type all this out, but there's built into this already. Good work, Caleb. Good work. Keeping it up. Is this a shorter stream? I've been on for an hour and a half. I don't know if it's a shorter stream, but yes, so it kind of is because I have to leave in a bit, right? So it is going to be a shorter stream than yesterday. But then come tomorrow, we're doing a longer stream as well, right? Doing a longer stream. Okay, so where did we go with this? I'm looking at the wrong code, that's why. So if we're going to look at this thing, we could apply a visitor. But really, actually, we can apply a pathfinder again. We can just use a pathfinder to find the path. So let's just grab all this code. And we're going to rename this thing to Printy. It has no output. Like so. Now these ones should have changed afterwards, right? So if we do, can we do that here? Whoops. And we make the path exist outside of that, right? That looks fine. I mean, let's do this before we run the benchmark. So it has not. It has here, but it hasn't done anything to these ones. And I think I'm being stupid now, but don't tell anyone. So this one should increment each value with self. Yeah, that's not right. The first value should be larger. What am I doing wrong? They should all have that number added to them. I don't know why they don't. That's strange. Can we debug from here? No, we can't. Obviously not. So n should be a larger number. I don't know. I don't get it. Okay, let's make the tree have a Boolean flag just for where it's been visited, right? So we do this. And we're gonna set everything to default. No, we're gonna set everything to false. I don't think that's fine. Now the Pathfinder doesn't work anymore because this thing has an input of usize and bool. And that becomes that. And we don't really care about an output here. So visited is true. Printy, you fool. Yeah, of course. Okay. Oh, I'm in Egypt. But also, this wrong. It's wrong. But we are visiting these. I'm just confuddled as to why. This doesn't seem to do anything. It does do something. I just didn't read the results correctly. Are they showing 3 here? No, it isn't. It starts here at 0. I'm just blind. Okay, that works. It works then. So let's not do the printy. Printy be gone. And we can look at the output then. I mean, it is not surprising that this is significantly faster to do, right? We're just getting into the tree now. Oh man, how am I gonna make it through October? I'm gonna make it through October. I'm gonna be asleep half the month, right? Or half the month is already gone, but oh man, what a glorious realization that I have a whole thermos of tea here that's still warm. It's like finding a little treasure. It's like finding like a medium-sized wallet sum in the sofa. Like, oh look, I found like 30 pounds in the sofa. Finding like a euro or whatever monopoly currency people are using these days, it's not as fun, right? But finding a slightly larger sum, that's more fun, right? I mean, it's obvious why this thing is faster. It's just fun to see how much faster it is. They're doing different things, though. Doing different things. But this is the kind of performance difference that we're talking about, then. Okay, so what about the update sequence then? So we have the visitor, and now that we have all this, we're gonna start here, and then we're gonna do a reposition of all the nodes from here. So for that, we don't need a pathfinder. What is it that we need for that? Maybe a walker. Call the apply function on every value in the tree that is part of the path, and then on all children recursively for the selected node. Ah, so close. We just want the selected node. What about the visitor then? Oh, this one is more complicated. So this one... What does this one do? Oh, the walker seemed like it was so close, though. Pathfinder will operate on every node along a path. A visitor will do what? It will visit every node, but that doesn't make any sense. That's just the same as the Pathfinder, and it cannot be. Okay. Let's look at the apply visitor function. That's the Pathfinder, that's the walker, that's the visitor. I guess we could just iterate over the children. We don't need anything specific for this thing. So apply visitors seem to have nothing to do with the path. No, this will visit each node in the tree. So let's go to the visitor. Okay, no, that's already there. So really, we just need to get children then and iterate over that. So let's start by asking the tree for the babies, and that's going to be tree.by path, I think. And then we unwrap that because that's how we roll. And then we're going to go through each child. Not really. So this doesn't quite work because we have to do a... This sounds like we're guessing a path from ID, yeah. So is there no means of... Is there no means of guessing? Get node by path. Get mute by path. Okay. Get mute by path. Is this getting the value? Get unmutable reference by path. This has an additional cost since the value idea has to be found first. Right, so we're not actually getting get node by path. That returns something different to get mute by path. That's really weird, but we can start with that. So we want the node and the tree values. Oh, that's pretty interesting. That's exactly what we need. All right, well, get node by path. And that returns the node and the values. So we should now be able to go through each child. So values dot get mute child dot ID. Is this right? Value maybe. I should probably have called it something like data instead. Values private. Well, I'm making it a function call, right? So that's gonna be the value that we get. And now we're supposed to mark all these values as visited, right? We don't care about the first one. And then we say visited is true. You fiddlestick. Oh, really? What's this then? Path, maybe? Yeah, that's the path. Okay. So that's still not bad. It's 51 microseconds to do this. And how many are there? I don't know. Oh, 65,535, you idiot. Yeah. But hang on, that's a little bit grody. I wanted more babies. Okay. So when we make the tree, this is dumb. Size, that should be size. No, it can't be. Wait a second. Damn. That's a limitation I wasn't aware of. You can have maximum 65,535 widgets. Oh, sheep. You can't have no 314,000 widgets. Oh, that explains that weird bug I was observing. Possibly, probably. Damn. Oh. Okay. So this raises an issue. Good morning, Temporis. How you doing, buddy? Did you just roll out of bed, mate? Did you just roll out of bed? Widgets for every cell in the terminal and some left over. True, Saltai, but what if you have an overflow widget which can contain an arguably infinite amount of widgets-ish, right? Got back from the weekly shop. Oh man, you've been up early then, right? When I woke up this morning, I was so dizzy, and it was no getting up at 4 a.m. to get down to business. I was making the jokes about like how they are like this like TikTok life coaches, like 12-year-old children who are 12-year-old youths, right? Like when children don't like to be referred to as children, right? But anyway, so they're giving life advice based on like Andrew Tate, like, oh, you gotta start a business and don't play video games and stuff like that, right? And it's like some of these people, so not necessarily like these 12-year-olds. I only saw like a couple of these things and just made me a bit shocked. But some of these people are like, you got to get up at 4 a.m. All these like successful business people get up at 4 a.m. But as someone who actually gets up at 4 a.m. quite frequently, do you know what happens? You go to bed at 8 p.m., okay? Or at 8 p.m., you're done. Your brain is cooked and maybe you're in bed 9:30, lights out 10 o'clock or whatever, right? And then you get up again at 4 a.m. So it's not like you get up and then like, oh wow, I'm gonna be awake from 4 a.m. to midnight. Sleep deprivation causes like damages to your system over time, right? All kinds of issues. So if that's how, if a successful person is someone who sleeps like 4 hours a night, then they're not gonna be successful for long, right? They're gonna have a lot of issues, right? Like, yeah, there's a lot of health issues if you don't get a good sleep in. I made a recycle view widget not so long ago for a similar project for a container for infinite widgets. I don't know what that means, Saltai. A recycle view. So it like either we impose a maximum size or we change the U16 to a U32. Since this is going to be allocated on the heap either way, it's not that bad to change the node path. What's the maximum number of a U32? That is a large number, right? It should not be an issue. Do I want to change this just so I can beat another library in performance? Just because we set the benchmark at 314,000 widgets. Am I going to be that stupid? Maybe I am. Scrolling through lots of data. When a widget scrolls off screen, you reuse the widget to display data the scrolling on screen. Yeah, so you have like a separate data source and then you swap out the widget. So you're like mapping to a data source. Is that what you mean? Yeah. No, that makes sense. Early on we explored, or at that point I was kind of alone on this. So I explored a few. I don't know why I said that. It was unnecessary. I explored a few solutions for this for the for loop, and one of them was a really fast only produce widgets as you need them kind of thing. There's really there's a lot of optimizations you can do if you can fix the size of every widget in the tree in any collection. It'll be like the old iOS dev, right, where the list view has like a fixed size. Oh god, that was so shit to work with. Anyway, yeah, so hello Emerald. So yeah, so we did try like a lot of these things before we settled for the thing that is the for loop today. I don't know, right? I don't know. If we change the path from a U16 to a U32, we're adding an additional 4 bytes per number in the path. It feels so dumb to do this just to beat another library in performance in a particular scenario. It's like really dumb. I don't know if I want to do it or not. You know what we could do though? We could do this multiple times. We could do this multiple times where we build up, we like attach 2 widgets to each other. But that doesn't work either. Like you can't have 2 infinite widgets back to back. Because they're infinite, right? Oh, what a choice, huh? What a choice. So like every fiber of me says, don't do it. No one's gonna put more than 65,535 widgets into an overflow. I mean, it's already dumb. Maybe we should. I wonder if we should. Yeah, I wonder how to deal with that. Okay, so if we do this though. See, that's the number that we're printing out. So the number is correct, though. Wow, they're almost the same. There's almost no difference. Oh, and that's obvious because, again, we don't go past the U16 max value, so that should be a U16 and this should now fail. Yeah. Oh, I'm failing for the wrong reason. Whoa there. What is Bencher doing if I do this? Whoops. What are you doing? Oh, right. Okay, right. I just wanted to be sure the bencher is actually failing this. So it's a foolish endeavor to put that many widgets into the tree. So you shouldn't do it. But how do we make sure that someone doesn't do it by accident, right? So you can't you like we can panic the runtime or whatever if you do it. I don't know, man. Oh yeah, the stream goal on the 31st when my kid comes home from school, she's gonna join me on stream if we reach the goal. And I have no idea what she's planning, and she's allowed to buy hair color and like the face paint and any props she wants for this. So it will be, if we reach the goal, it'll be very dumb for me, but it will be funny for you guys. I don't know what to do, right? I think allowing more is kind of bad. But what if you want to load like thousands of widgets from or thousands of lines from a database, right? Should we maybe support this? That's a bit crazy, isn't it? So what would it mean if we had to update the path? All these U16s, right? Well, the size of this thing isn't bad, though. We're going to have to allocate these on the heap anyway when we create them. And it's not a biggie. But if you get close but not quite 250, wouldn't that be dishonest to say that the goal has been met then? Although admittedly, I do think that I have made a mistake the way I set it up, because it's for new subs only. If I was going to load thousands of rows from the database, I would not insert them all into the widget tree. That is a very good point, Temporis. Would you expect that? So those of you who do a bunch of UI programming, would you expect that to work? Assuming that you don't have something like a list view. Maybe we should try this with a UI library. By the way, for those of you who didn't see the beginning of this thing, Divan, a lot smoother to set up than Criterion, and I instantly like it. It was very little friction to get benchmarking up and running. I think Criterion and the standard library, which both requires nightly, Criterion has a lot more setup. This thing was just so easy to get going. Very nice. No, maybe I'm trying to solve unnecessary problems. Let's have a look. Can we run Slint? Is this going to be... Man, everything's very slow today. Do we have any dropped frames? No. Okay. Do we have some... Oh, yeah, no, because this thing... I think this thing takes a lot to build. To do. So how does this work? Oh, okay. There's no for loops there. I was kind of hoping for a for loop here. Yeah, pagination, but maybe I wonder if you would expect to be able to scroll. Like, what if you want some kind of filter list or whatever? I think I'm just making this more difficult for myself. I think you're right. You're the voice of reason today. I think you're right. Doing this, changing this just to beat another library in a given completely nonsensical test case is, you know, just pinnacle of twattery. Let's not do it. You shouldn't be doing it. I don't know what would be a nice user interface for scrolling then. What would be a nice interface for scrolling through? Like, so when you scroll past a certain offset, you want to pop some values off the top and add some values to the bottom, right? I should do an example where we do this though, where we have this infinite scrolling thing. But yeah, definitely popping off the top and bottom, right? Yeah, I think you're right. Damn, I'm thick sometimes, right? Woo. Okay. Windows Presentation Foundation added the concept of virtual list view because of this very reason, because the non-virtual list views just weren't performing enough when item counts got massive. I'm guessing that's something that would kind of add like a window to your list view, so you end up with the actual widget, and then you have this massive list on the side, and you're kind of projecting from one place into the widget, so you kind of just looking at a window. That would be kind of dumb drawing. It should be more like this. Right. Man, why am I being so thick today? That should actually be down there. Something like that, right? Oh, hello. I think that would be it, right? Although we don't actually have something like this. See, that is impossible to do without laying out all the preceding items unless they have a fixed height. Right, okay. Like, I'm guessing that's what this means, right? Yeah. So if you, I have thought about the concept of doing that, right? So you can have a list view with fixed size, fixed height, and you can get some like real performance out of that. But yeah. But I think this is kind of what we would be looking at, right? We'd have like this view in there that you render with like a slight offset, and as the offset grows, you kind of start popping and pushing in some direction. It would certainly be like the faster way of doing it, wouldn't it? Shit, maybe I should think about that instead. Maybe I should rewrite the stack. I still think that the work we're doing here is worth doing, right? I still feel like this is the way to go. Nah, I'm gonna be so stoked when we're done with this project. Oh man, just let me freaking sleep and get on with it. Okay, so we're gonna change these to 3, 5, right? Beep. Okay, so this is still... Oh, fudge, that's slow. Damn. That's slow. Oh, hang on. This isn't even operating on a tree. This is operating on a flat list. Even so, that's because we're doing the lookup. Most likely. Yeah. It's this guy that takes time. Although this thing should just grab the value there. Yeah. There's no way around that. You can't work around that. You have to access values in the tree. And that's it. Not gonna be able to do anything about that. Okay, this thing, on the other hand, is what it is. Should we black box this? And hope that this thing changes a little bit? No, it doesn't. Or maybe, but not significant enough. No, it's no significant change there. No, so doing the update, we're still in the microsecond space, but there's nothing to do about that. I remember tea again. Hot damn. Okay, we just have to reduce the size. But I kind of like the idea of like pushing and popping from something as we go along. Maybe I've been a little bit too excited about removing things as we go along. Okay. Then the next thing was the caching strategy. So how do we do that then? So we cache the... We cached the size, right? I think I wrote this down somewhere. And then I clearly deleted it. So, hello. No, here it is. So we cached the layout. And I got this from Taffy yesterday, looking at that. So they just cached the layout. Well, I mean, we already talked about it, but calling it cache and then grouping these two together, right? The widget owns the vehicle, and I think that's going to be the more important thing here, that the widget owns the vehicle that it drives for the layout. So vehicle is just an analogy, but in my head, the way this looks like is like you driving different vehicles around the tree to do different jobs, and then we have a game at the end of the day, right? I wonder if we should get back to some... If I solve this, if we should get back to some WGPU programming tomorrow. I think Swift UI can have variable sized views inside the scroll views, though, Enrico. But the original Objective-C and the UI view and UI table view and stuff, these things had fixed size. It was complete shit to work with. It was super annoying, right? Yeah, I think if we can translate that to Anathema, that would be pretty good. We have the the collection. I don't know how this would look, because what we really do is we're just running a for loop, right, in the UI. So we have something like for value in collection, and then we have maybe text value, and then this is in overflow. It just looks like this. So really, so the way you change the overflow is you have to do this through code, right? So you have to get into elements and maybe like by tag overflow. And then we get the first one and we want the element. We don't care about attributes now. So element to overflow. And now we have an overflow widget that we can operate on. So depending on like what key you press, maybe scrolling down, right? So overflow dot scroll down, right? You can do things like scroll down by and give it a number, but yeah, scroll down. This would then change the offset. So the question is, how do we conveniently take this template and somehow, how do we like make a virtual collection, right? Ugh, no. You might do, Enrico. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go in like a bit. I know it's a short stream, but I have so much to do today. I'm sorry. So how could that manifest itself, Temporis, right? 30 minutes or less. Let's plan this out, Enrico. What are you planning to do now, Enrico? Do you want to go make some lunch? It might have to be special cased. How long does it take you to make lunch then, Enrico? Let's figure this out. I wanted to do a little bit of words. Maybe we don't. 12 minutes for fried eggs. Okay, tell you what though, because I appreciate the sentiment of having something to watch while you eat. Go and make your fried eggs now, all right? And I'll be here when you get back, right? Eating fried eggs doesn't take a long time, so I'll stick it out. Okay, go and get your eggs going. I'll be here. You might use a special overflow control type that exposes scroll position and size and calls out to something that selects items to be considered in views. Everything else is ignored in layout. Special case to list. Yeah, so that would, like, if we could do something like list view where the data is the collection, right? But then everything we put in here will be repeated, so it would be something like this. Oh no, this is what we did in old Anathema, right? And then we have a binding name here to be able to get the value. This is going back months in Anathema time. Hello, Ithrak. Yes, so a couple of things, Ithrak. Because of the size of the widgets, the maximum number of, the size of node path, the maximum number of widgets you can have inside a given collection or a given widget is 65,535 or U16 Max, right? But there is, and that's going to be more than enough to display anything on screen, right? But if we wanted to do something like to be able to infinitely scroll, right? What if we wanted to do like an infinite scroll widget? That's kind of what I'm thinking here. We need like the notion of being able to push and pop from a data source. So this is not gonna work because this is too awkward for anyone to work with. So maybe we need something else, right? Maybe like and it's this virtual list that is a thing. Because a virtual list needs to encompass something else, right? Yeah, so we need, I think the virtual list has to be done that has to be done as a data type. Sort of like how we have map and list already. So it has to be a new kind of data where this is a window almost. Looking to fix that was broken by replace component state with component attribute. Don't look, just a hint if you have an idea what could have gone wrong. The box no longer moves. Which branch are you on? On dev. Let me just open. I'm not gonna look, but I'm gonna look here. I'm not gonna ruin fun, that's for sure. Oh, GitHub feels so sluggish today. Oh shit! I forgot that we have either. Damn. Oh, we have to document that. Okay. I don't think that's in the documentation. Okay, so I'm looking at this thing and I don't think that we have added the state naming, so that's good. Yeah, no, I merged that one. I merged your PR. There are no components in here other than this one. What a ridiculous thing to add an easing function to a TUI. It's just one of those things I did because I want to do it. I'm looking for that. Okay. Oh, barely, Dottie. Barely. I don't know, Itharak. Without actually digging into it, I can't say what's going wrong. I would debug if I was going to work on it now, or put breakpoints in there and look at it to try to figure it out. Okay, so I think we might need another virtual list, another widget that behaves slightly differently. So this thing, you and me both, Ithrak, don't worry about it. So this thing would add a window. So you have to offset with a virtual list instead of like the list view. I think that can be done. Oh man, that's like a good idea, Temporis. I like that. There's a good conversation to be had around this. Let's go from here then. I think that should be enough for me to remember the conversation. Yeah, right. All right. Okay. That actually makes this work redundant. If we did that, then this wouldn't be necessary anymore. Yeah, I've never used org mode personally, so I don't know what I'm missing. I've heard people say that org mode is literally the reason to use Emacs. What would be nice if virtual list doesn't necessarily need to be backed by static list, so I could hook into making calls to fetch fresh data. Yeah, maybe, Temporis. It's not a bad idea. I never really used... I used Obsidian a little bit, but it was so broken on mobile, so I threw it out. No free full, but the idea is to not have the document, or rather to make the document always be a component. So it will be. The solution today, free full, is to... can we get this back? The solution today, Freefall, is to do what we're doing here. The first thing you do in your document is just invoke, is just have a component, right? But I think we're going to end up making the document have a root component instead. But use this for now. Welcome back, Enrico. Yeah, I think we're going to ignore the virtual list for now, because I think that's going to affect how we change a lot of things. I really like this, but this involves so much more. For instance, we can't just say, make this virtual list be able to fetch the next item. It needs to be able to fetch the next item, and it needs to be able to display things like a loader while it's fetching. So in case you're doing like web requests and stuff, I'm reluctant to start tackling that right now. It's going to be too big of an issue. I don't know if we're going to have an item trait per se, but we're definitely going to have to make it quite a complex type. That's for sure. I have no idea how we're going to tackle that one. But it kind of makes this work pointless. It's not pointless, but it doesn't add as much of a performance boost as one would have hoped if we do that work. And it is the smart thing to do. Absolutely. Absolutely. You got good ideas, Ithrak. You have good ideas. Yeah, I have no idea how I'm gonna tackle that. All right, but it's one of those. It's like we'll sit down and tackle. We cross that bridge when we get there, kind of thing. I want to see if I can optimize the layout function now with this without losing my marbles in the process. And I think maybe caching the results is the way to do this. If we cache the results on the widget, then computing the layout is still going to be faster. But we could benefit from not visiting widgets that don't change. And this is where it gets a bit hairy. We want to be able to skip through a whole section in the tree iteration, right? So if we look at what we're using now, if we look at this layout filter, we have no means to skip using this. And that's what I would like to do. Anathema template is only used while parsing / reloading, or is it also used in the part of the main look? I don't understand the question. I don't understand this question. I don't know what main look means in this case. So okay, but maybe if I just answer something, AML or Anathema markup language is only used once at the parse and compile stage before you start the runtime. We've compiled the templates and into Rust types, so there is no parsing during the runtime or anything of the sort, right? Yeah, so it's just parsed once and no more, right? Which is why hot reloading will rebuild the entire thing, but it retains the state. Hopefully that answers your question. If not, then ask it again, but formulate it differently. Yes, it is just about building up the widgets or the blueprints, really. We build up the blueprints and the blueprints can be evaluated to widgets. So you can have one blueprint that is a for loop with one child that is a text node, and that would be evaluated to one for loop with 1,000 text nodes, right? So templates becomes blueprints, blueprints and expressions describes how to produce the output, right? Yeah. And if you want to see where that work is actually being done, you can look inside the eval of nodes. So there is a trait called an evaluator with an input. It evaluates into the tree, which is why it returns a result like this. So the single widget eval, this one will create attributes, the value, and then attributes. I say the value and the attributes because you might have something like this, right? Text hello, right? This is the widget, this is the value. And if we add A is 1 to 3, this is an attribute, right? So you can have many attributes and you can call them whatever you want and so on and so forth, right? But there are only one value, and that's for the syntax. So the syntax looks somewhat understandable, right? We use the factory to make the widget, and this factory comes from here, right? This is how we insert these things into the factory, which means if you want to make your own widgets, all you have to do is register it with the factory, and bam, you got your own widget, right? There is nothing in default widgets that you couldn't make yourself, right? There's no magical dependencies that is not public, right? Once you created the widget, we check if the widget is a floating widget. If it is, we're going to have to add it to floating widgets because floating widgets are laid out after every other widget has been laid out. So they're laid out and painted and everything on top of everything else, which is why they're in a different location. Now that we generated all the attributes, we're going to insert them into the general attribute storage. So we have like a flat collection of these things. A lot of it is about data alignment and stuff, right? Then we create a container which is going to hold the widgets where we have the size and the inner bounds. Then we say that the widget is in fact an element. There are different widget kinds, things like for loops, iteration inside a for loop, control flow, if else inside a control flow, and a component, right? It's not that many. Then finally we can commit the transaction. So we have access to the widget ID the moment we start the transaction. And then after we commit the transaction, that's when it's written into the tree. So this thing, that's the wrong place. This thing isn't actually stored in the tree until we commit the transaction. Right? But this is because we cannot do anything with the widget until we have the widget ID. We need the widget ID to associate a lot of data with the widget, but we can't insert the widget until we have all the data. So to get around this catch-22, we start this transaction that we then commit at the end of this thing, right? We get the parent from... Oh, right. I was like wondering, like, what? This is not the parent, but yes, this is the parent for these children. So this is the path for our newly created widget. And then here we evaluate the children that belongs to that widget, right? And the for loop looks a little bit different because it deals with scoping values, and that's not a for loop. Yes, it is. That's evaluating the body. So the for loop scopes values from the collection. Control flow deals with if else, and components, which is probably more important here, does quite a bit. It's quite a lot going on here. This is a bit of a hairy function, although it isn't that much. A lot of this stuff is just writing data into things, right? So again, we start a transaction, we build up attributes. Note that we don't have values for components. Everything is just attributes. Then we have the component ID, which we're using. There's a widget component ID. So yes, this is what we're using when we're storing components, right? So there's the widget component ID. This is translated into a component ID that is strongly typed. This means strongly typed. We're not doing gang size. It's like lesser than, greater than, right? So the component ID itself is generic over a type, which means we can only send values of a given type to this component, which is, nice. But the widget component ID does not have that. But this is unique only to the component blueprint, not the component instance, right? It is in the event of having just a singular component, but if you have a prototype, then the widget component ID is nonsensical, all right? But we use these things, we insert the storage, and here we're gonna get the component from the context and so on and so forth, right? Yasin, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiden. How you doing? Hope you had a good stream. And anytick is what updates the widget. So anytick is a function that is called for every frame. So, and the anytick is a little bit annoying because we can skip the anytick for a lot of components, right? imagine, if you will, you don't have to imagine, we can just go to some project in here, right? And if we were to register a component that has no state and no component, there's no reason for any tick to be called on this thing. So in reality, we should probably have something like once tick or whatever for this. Wow, thank you for the raid, Tickcap. Thank you so much. Welcome, Raiders. How you doing? Hope you had a good stream. Hello, Juice Mate. Hello, Wiggler. How you doing? How you guys doing? What did you guys do on stream? Did you do anything fun? So yeah, there's like a lot of things that we could do to omit things. And if we go into the raining glyph here, that Dottie made, and we look at the glyph maybe for this thing. See, this one doesn't have state. Although this one did have something going on. Well, I'll think that's very nice. Thank you. And this one doesn't do anything. It has a state, but it doesn't do anything with it. So this one could just be a unit, and we could skip every column from having the tick function called, for instance, right? You reacted to someone reacting to me. Oh man, you should have sent me a message and I could have gone and watched your stream as well. All right, we could have done reacception, right? Was it fun though? Like, was it a video, TCAP? Because I always wonder about this. Hello, Kill the Teeth. I always wonder about, like, what is it like when someone makes videos reacting to someone else, and like, do they think that the person they're reacting to is gonna see what they're doing? And you know, TCAP reacted to Evan reacting to TCAP roasting Evan's code. Really? Very good. It was fun. Yeah, I guess it's, as long as it's like in good sport, it will be all right. I don't think I mind if anyone reacted to my code, right? You guys can react away. I'm sort of okay with it. But I'd imagine that, like, you're some small YouTuber, you got like 10 views, and you're just working on your hobby project, and then someone with like 6 million followers or whatever reacts to your code. Oh, look at this dude, man. What's he doing? Oh my god, I can't believe it did that, man. Everybody get your gun. Starts to read Rust. It's all right, man. It's all right. So what do you like normally program on your stream, TCAP? Let me pop this open, right? Let's have a quick look. Oh wait, no, wait. I'm okay. This is so confusing. I'm looking at you, looking at the video, looking at you. Oh my god. Okay. C++, but C style mostly. That's fair enough. I'm hoping you did not see my stream where I implemented a Rust vector in C++, because that was pretty dire. And people in the chat be like, "You got undefined behavior," and you know, right? Packed, like the publisher. Hive Havoc. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, WASD. Dash one space. Oh, we got sound effects as well. Okay, hang on. I gotta close down your stream then. Click, click. All right, I got 0 of 50,000. Your goal is to get 50,000 nectar, but I feel like I have to just go and shop at Sainsbury's now, right? But before you can do that, you will need to use it to get stronger and force more ants to. So for some reason, this like the layout is a bit wonky. I'm feeling that this is not the full game. I don't know, and that might not be anything other than Do I have to allow this thing? Now, why is it doing that? It doesn't normally do this on Edge. I don't think it's your game. I think it's just this thing being silly. So should we zoom out then? Okay, yes. All right. Okay, what was the... Hang on, no, I need the instructions again. Come back here, instructions. Option or P or escape. All right, and then zoom the wheel. Okay, nice. All right, guys, get nectar points. Before you can do that, you need to use it to get stronger and force more ants to spawn, thus increasing your nectar. Wait, so the ants are my bitch, right? And the ants will do... wait, am I... Be careful as letting too many ants accumulate will be the end. Okay, hang on. I misunderstood this then, right? Oh, no, I don't get that again, right? Wait, do I get... Oh, so killing the ants gives me points. Is that it? Yeah, all right. Can we laser multiple ants at the same time? This is pretty good. Oh, what was the green ant doing? Okay, green ant had a little bit more HP, right? You enable auto level in the option. Okay, hang on. How do I fix that? Auto level off. Okay, there we go, right? So speed. I definitely want a drone. Give me a drone. Oh, look at that ant. Oh, shit. Get out of here. Get out of here, ants. No te gusta. Get out of here. We don't love you. All right. Give me another drone, please. All right. Okay, this is getting somewhere. I could do with a bit more speed. Oh, man, those drones are saving my hive bacon. Man, they're like UFOs, right? Okay, we're going to have one more drone. I think there's enough droning around. Okay, what do we need now? Can we pause the game? Oh, no, I can't see what things... Oh, look at the giant ants. Get out of here. All right, is he fighting back? All right, player damage. That's what we need. We need to up our damage. He's not fighting back, is he? Yeah, it seems like I'm losing a little bit. Okay, we're going to crank up our damage. We need increased drone damage as well, but the drones seem to be doing all right for now. I'm going to get rid... Oh, shit, look at that guy. Get out of here. Get out of here. Come on, you big ant. No, man, the little ants. Drone speed. No, I need more damage. Damage, right? Damage boosting. Okay, look at that. Right, look at that. We're getting somewhere, man. It must have taken a while to balance this game. So what is that? I don't know what I'm going to pick. Whoa! Check that out. Suck it. Chain lightning. More damage. Oh, no. Was that like a special that ended? Yeah, I don't get to keep that. Drone cargo. Drones can harvest more creatures before having to return to hive. Drone range. Drone. I want drone damage. There we go. All right, I think I just bumped that. Oh, look at that big bastard, right? Spawn rate. Creatures spawn 15% faster. What creatures, though? If this is the ants, then... If these are ants, then I don't want more of them. And I don't know if I'm spawning anything. I mean, I have a child, but that's one spawn. Okay, I don't want the ants to spawn faster. Free upgrade. We'll take another drone. Man, look at these. Oh, look at that again. Get in here. Okay, more drone. What's this? Harvest range. Is this lightning the harvest range? Maybe it is, right? We'll get some more lightning there. Let's just clean up. Clean up, buttercup. Get out of here. Get out of here, ants. Oh, no, that's not great, because now it's latching on. I want to focus on the big ant. Free upgrade. Have another drone then. We need more damage. Player damage. Where are you? We're just gonna crank that up, right? Look at us. Just get in and destroy everything. All right, drones, you're on your own. I'm busy. Yeah, more damage. Get in. I don't know what I just collected. 2 broken drones. It is 2 broken drones. There we go. Right. Oh, look at this. Ants all over. There's ants in my pants, man. Get out of here, ants. Drone damage. I'm just gonna get that up as well. Okay, I don't know what drone cargo is, and I don't need drone We can do a little bit more speed, but that's just for our exploration. Oh, is that another chain lightning? Yeah, get in here. Come here, you. Come here, you. Yeah. Whoa, cleaning up spawn. No, I don't want that. Give me another drone then. This is pretty good. Oh shit, there are ants everywhere. Get out of here. So like the drones and the ants have the same color, and as a half blind person, I'm struggling a bit. I get that drones can harvest more creatures before having to return to hive. Drone rate. No, they don't have to do that. Creatures are stronger and more rewarding. I don't know if I want that. Okay, drones do more damage. All right, there we go. Okay, let's go. Free upgrade. Let's get another drone. I need the drones to keep this place clear while I'm off doing my chain lightning thing. All right. Man, we gotta get some great points doing this. Ooh, that's another thing. Is that another one? Okay, I can have some more speed. It's a free upgrade, man. Don't turn that down. Oh, more. Look at this, man. We're cleaning up 2 dead drones. I don't get this. What does the range do? We'll take the range there, right? We're gonna get off over here and just murder some more. We're gonna go and pick up those drones, but while I have this special, I want to make as much use of it as I can. Although I don't know, I seem to be shiny for some reason, but not do anything. Okay, we're gonna pick up dead drones, and then this stuff. There we go. Okay, drone, more damage. There we go. Big ant. All right, no, big ant, get out of here. Guess that's all. Okay, yeah, all right. Oh man, real life's catching up with me. Look at this thing. Okay, we're gonna quickly get in here. Just there you go. Get out of it. I don't want this anymore. I gotta just take something. Okay, you're disrupting my flow. All right, I'm busy getting rid of the ants in my pants. Look at big ant. Okay, I don't want to waste the special on the big ant, so we'll come back for that later. Spawn rate, creature tier, player speed. Okay, we'll get more speed. More speed. Yeah, that's definitely what we need. Oh, look at that. Okay, now we need to go and pick up one of these things. Now we can do some damage, okay? Now we can do some damage. Check this out, man. Yeah. So was this written, like, have you built this on stream or whatever? We can increase the drone speed as well. Not that it's as important. Oh, man, we are invincibles now. So is this the number of ants in the world? Is that what we're looking at? Good work. It's a good game. That's the auto level setting? Okay, yeah, no, totally, right? I'll totally turn that back on again. I don't know how I feel about the sound effect. Some of it is like a little bit wet. But not in like a splashy way. More like a small child eating and haven't learned to chew with the mouth closed. You have to buy more upgrades, else it would take too long to win. I see. And spawn more enemies. So is this... Don't I have to get this to 5,000? I need to get... So we need to up the creature tier, but again, I need more damage, okay? I want to be the damage dealer, right? And the creature tiers are going up whether I want to or not. I can tell. This is very satisfying, though. Just going around the hive and... Not Rust. This is C++, I think. Another drone. So I don't have to pay too much attention to the hive now, because the drones are doing their thing. Okay, so we're gonna up the spawn rate then. All right, we'll up the spawn rate. Hopefully, I don't do this like. Do I have to return to the hive? I don't want to return. Oh shit! Why is this lower? I thought this was supposed to be. It was like 1,500. Oh wait, hang on. Oh, I'm spending the points. Damn it! Obviously. Okay. All right. We're not gonna spend the points, right? Yeah, I need to get 50,000 nectar points. Sainsbury, it's time to go shopping. Get that Jamie Oliver out of there. We got things to do. Look at that. The drones are even having these kind of cool things now. Oh, this is good, man. This is good. I'm gonna dump this in chat. If you guys haven't played this is good. All right, we're gonna either win or lose. Something's gonna happen. How satisfying is this? This is great. This was a great thing to add, right? This is very satisfying. Now I've destroyed all the ants, and there's no ants in my pants. Get out of here, ants. You got nothing on me. I'm picking up everything. Okay, but where's my hive now? There, 2400. There's like 0 risk. Okay, oops, wrong button. Let's just increase the spawn rate of the ants. All right, we're increasing the spawn rate now. No idea what's happening there. It's all good though. No, we're just gonna go in circles. Need more ant destruction. And like the ants probably didn't do anything wrong. They were just on the way, right? And I built my hive in their path. And they're like, no, it's our road, man. And then we're like, nah, man. We're like the electric bees. And we're gonna wasp all up in your bee's knees. Oh man, how much do I have now? 4,000. Look at that. Look at number go up, okay? Number go up. Who doesn't like number go up? Just collect more of these things. Like I've got permanent lightning going on here. Wait, haven't I? No, it's 50,000, not 5,000. Damn. I thought it was 5,000. Okay, all right. So we're going to do a bit of Q and C here. Then I understand. Okay, okay. Then we got to increase the spawn rate some more. I understand then. This makes sense. Okay. Now number go up a little bit faster. Ooh, it's a lot of ants here. It's a lot of ants. But now it's going a little bit faster. We're gonna do this one more time. Very satisfying. Very good game loop. The sound, the word that comes to mind when I hear the sound is moist. A word that I am not a massive fan of. But there's like a tiny thing. It's not really a big bother, right? It would be nicer to have some kind of like half aggressive sap sound, but since it's gonna play on top of each other so much, probably not. Everyone's a critic, right? This is a very good game. All right, we got some points. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna increase everything even more. We're just now we're gonna go to look at that, man. Look at that. The ants do not stand a chance. There's so many ants, but we got this, man. Look at that, man. Magic ants. Goodbye, magic ant. I don't know what Dan Maku Games is. All right, we got 11,000 already. I think we're gonna win this. I feel like we got kind of got a formula going here. We need more lightning. Give me more lightning. Give me more range. Okay, we're not gonna get to. We're not gonna get up to 50,000 from here. We're gonna spend some of this again. We're gonna increase our damage and our spawn rate as well. You were overwhelmed. No, I done up. Ah, sheep. Okay. Okay. Oh, man, close. Close, but no cigar, man. Dan Maku Games, also known as Bullet Hell Games, are a subgenre. Okay, Bullet Hell, I know what it is. So I played Vampire Survivor on my phone. It's free. It was pretty good. This was pretty good too, but I've never played like Enter the Gungeon or anything like that. Ruffle. Do I want to click this like a fool or just open things? Select a demo or drag an SWF. This isn't really a game. It's a cool effect, but I don't know what this is. Okay, here we go. Play. Brackenwood Entertainment presents. And these games are okay to stream, right, Bean Juice? There's not going to be anything unsavory here. This already looks questionable. Okay, that's fine. What is that? Some serious animation being done here. Even it like this is better than Simon the Sorcerer remake. You choose an animation, not a game? Really? Oh, I see. All right. Wasted Sky. Newgrounds. Oh man, the volume, jeepers. What are these flames doing down here? This is some like this is some TNG explosion in space kind of animations, right? Nah, this wasn't my favorite, I have to say. I don't mind these kind of games, but honestly, this was not my favorite. We'll take another. Fly Guy. Is that going to be about flying? ¿Qué quieres? Okay. Use the arrow keys. Okay, then we have to enable a game layer. Oh, beautiful. Ah, there you go. Perfection. I can't do anything now. Oh, there we go. Marvin Spectrum is good. All right. Let's try Marvin Spectrum. ASD. Okay, hang on. We need to get out of there. ASDF. What? What am I doing? I'm pressing ASDF. Nothing is happening. Okay. Options. Man, they do love the sound, don't they? All right, I don't care about your hats. Oh, I see. Okay. That had nothing to do with anything. So we have to use the arrow keys then. Okay, let's do this then. Okay, before I'm deaf. Yeah, begin. Is he always gonna be this far back, or is there any way to get him to move a little bit forward? I feel like he's a bit far back. The obstacle in front of me disappeared when I touched it. So does it start from the beginning? Okay, let's try that. No. Is there like a health meter somewhere? Stage 2. Okay, I didn't know I succeeded. If you don't, yeah, it just seems like it removes the obstacle in front of you if you fail. Not that it's a biggie or anything, but what are you supposed to do with these then? Oh, I see. So, Okay, blue. Oh, that's not gonna work here because they're on different layers. Oh gosh, then I can't play this with this keyboard because they're on different layers. Newgrounds. Oh my. Cool idea though. Arrow keys to run left and right. Yeah, I'd have to set up my keyboard for it. Oh, that's a problem. That's also on separate layers. Yeah, I can't play this either. Yeah, this looks pretty good. This was a good game though. All right, let's get our music back. That was just incredibly loud, the volume. All right, okay. I think that's probably what we're gonna do though. That was cool. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna go in and deal with life now. So only 3 hours today, not 12 and a half, but tomorrow I'll be back. We do a long stream. We're gonna continue the way we set out to go along, right? Flash games, yeah. Yeah, I have to do live things, right? But anyway, it's been good. I don't normally stream on Sundays, but this month I'm trying to stream every day. We got a sub goal up there, and if we reach the sub goal, I'm going to live on stream let my child do makeup on me for Halloween with hair colors, props, face paint, whatever she wants to do, right? I'm going to do it live, and of course I'm going to wear it for the entire day, much to my dismay. If we reach the goal, if you haven't joined the Discord, you should really do so for no other reason than get go live notifications, and you can flex over there if you want to. I don't know what you would flex,